You got this, friend.
Yeah, okay. I was gonna say Garrett's the brains of the.
What? Oh, I'm sorry. Carry on. Go ahead. What's up? We're live on the internet. Go ahead. What was that?
I said you're the brains of the operation. I got the connect. Sarah. Sarah.
We're not even going to discuss what Sarah was doing before. I like the extended 5 seconds of Bill Bookwalter there at the end. Episode 44, powered by Buffed Energy, caffeine, nootropics, electrolytes, and 3 organic mushrooms. Buffed.energy/FightShow. We will talk more about that later. But we got a special guest. Tanner's going to come in the back half of the show. We're going to preview the card that nobody's going to watch this weekend. This guy, if you've been around the Mid-Atlantic, I would say definitely Pennsylvania, but if you've been around the Mid-Atlantic for the last decade in the MMA scene, you've heard this guy's name. But former complete devastation featherweight champion, purple belt jiu-jitsu, multiple-time Naga winner, 17-fight pro record, recently said, what the fuck, I'm going to take a trip down to Street Beefs and whoop some ass at Street Beefs. So he just came back from that. He trains out of Flood City Jiu-Jitsu and the Shop 814, Pennsylvania's own Charlie Gathers. I say Virginia's own by way of Pennsylvania, but we'll just claim you. Pennsylvania's own Charlie Gathers. What's up, bud?
Not too much, man. All those good words make me feel special a little bit over here.
You're
46 years old. Holy cow.
Grayson, I thought Bill was old. Jesus Christ.
I'm 46 also.
Yeah. We represent the old folk.
We ain't done yet.
We ain't done yet. No way.
Gotcha. Well, Bill, you wanted him. You got him. Here he is.
All right, man. Hey, I remember I go back. I was in the cage with Charlie at least twice that I remember. Once against Charles Kessinger, once against Josh Aarons, and there may have been more. That was a long time ago, and I've been hitting the head a lot. So, Charlie, there's the photo. How you doing, Charlie? How you been, man?
Bill made sure we featured specifically this picture predominantly today in the episode. You'll notice, I don't know how big you can get it, but you'll notice here, little shine right here in the background. Yeah, that's Bill.
Yeah. He's in there making sure. I tried to kill that guy, honestly. I had him in a darts choke, and we were laying on the ground, and I stood up to my feet, and his feet were dangling off the ground about this high. He was talking way too. I wasn't much of a shit talker, I was, a nice, humble fighter, and he was from Florida talking way too much trash, made me cut to 133 pounds instead of 35 the day of, or said he's driving because he passed by me while we were making weight at the summit in Altoona and went and told the matchmaker he's going home because he seen how big I was and for a 135 pounder. So those last 2 pounds, they carried me to the scale. Sir wasn't even going to let me weigh in because I look like death. And I promised him that if chance was handed to me that he was going to be the first death in Pennsylvania cage. I stood up and I was hanging him, and Bill grabbed my arm. It's on video. He's grabbing me, trying to let me go. So,
if I remember correct, that was your first pro win, was it not? I remember that venue. It was a big open room.
No, that wasn't my first pro win. It was one of my earlier ones, but it wasn't my first one. That was Jaffa Moss in Altoona.
Okay, maybe I've been in there with you 3 or 4 times, and I just don't remember them.
Yeah, you and Chip Snyder are my favorite refs. It always seemed like when you or Chip were in there, like I fought my best. I don't know what it was. It was always a fun ass fight when either you two were in there.
Well, good. Well, welcome to the show, man. I got a couple questions for you. Just get the people watching catching up with you and stuff. Something I ask everybody during every interview, because everybody has a different journey that led us here. What's your why? Why do you do this? Why do you fight? We'll talk about it a little later, but you went to Street Beefs at 46 years old. to fight in somebody's backyard. What drives you to fight, man? What's your why?
I mean, through the 10 years of this, the why question is like, it's a big thing, and there's so many different whys. When you first start out, why are you fighting as an amateur? Because it's something you like want to do. You haven't really discovered yourself fighting yet. This is the way I feel. Not every fighter is definitely not like me, but then when you move up and you get years under your belt, your whys change. A lot of my whys were for my kids, was like, I fought 4 times in 1 month, cut close to 90 pounds that month on and off, because I wanted that money. We were close to school. We were close to, school clothes or Christmas. And I was just, and then after all that is said and done, my why now is, I feel like just certain people are born to fight. We're not, and I include that as me, because I can't really understand why I still, at 46 years old, 10 years into beating myself to death, I still lie awake at night and thinking about fighting, thinking about me fighting, my son fighting. It's not that we're born strong or we're born tough or brave. It just, I feel honestly that like the universe decides, like, this one's gonna have the grit, this one's gonna have, it's just gonna to keep going, the fire in their blood type deal, So, my why isn't really built. It's not why for me. I feel like right now it's why me is the way I feel. It's like, I'm not the biggest, not the strongest. I don't win them all. I don't win all my grappling matches. Like, why do I have to? Because I have to. It's not a why. It's I have to keep active. I don't know. I'm not the same person. Like, I just got back into I wanted nothing to do with grappling before I met Joy. I was doing next to nothing. I was 140 pounds with my clothes on. If I could post a picture, you'd be like, oh my God. And she wanted to get on the mat. She always wanted it. And I was like, I could do this, blah, blah, blah. She had to Google me. She thought when first time we met, I said I was a fighter. She was like, this guy ain't a fighter.
Yeah.
And then she was like, oh my God. So she got me off the couch and on the mats. And then it lit this fire. Like, I feel like I'm more dangerous of a fighter now than I was back then. You refereed my matches. I was learning on the fly, like we all were back in the day. It's nothing like it was now. And I have so much more knowledge from coaching and all that stuff now that I feel like now my why is more why me? Why am I still able to just keep going with like the battered body? So my why is a little different than most. You know what I mean? It's just
okay.
It's a little out there.
No, I was walking around at work today, and I was thinking about like how everybody's fighting in something in life, and we all become different people over the years. And I was like, can you explain to people that at one point you're doing it for a little attention, then the next point you're really doing it for your kids? Then there's a ton of different whys. I was like, can you really explain why the whys changed? And I wasn't sure if people would be able to relate to that or not. But yeah, I guess everybody can relate to that. Is like we've been a bunch of different people over the years, and
Right.
my whys have changed from back when I first started to now. So
Right.
I get exactly what you're saying.
You evolve as a person, period, no matter what you're doing or what sport you're doing. Now, fighting is a little bit more grueling than basketball or something else, but even the guys that stay in it past, they're like, he should retire. It's like his why is a lot different than why his why was when he was in college trying to get there, So that's why I feel a lot of whys are different. But now it's just the why of the warrior. Like, we just keep going. Like I said, I'm 46. I'm still laying in bed at night, can't sleep, and watching fight videos or something. Like, you would think that would die down, but some of us just have that warrior blood.
I'm also cut from the cloth that, man, I love having the next thing. Whatever it is. If I don't have the next thing, man,
whatever it is on the mat. Like I said, I was itching so bad, and I can't get my pro license back, and I want to go. Street Beefs was great. All the guys. I had so much. I can't. Sorry.
We'll get to that. We'll get to that. All right. Next question. Your earliest inspirations, man. Who do you remember watch fighting? What do you remember off the top of your head as the first fight you ever watched, and who did you really enjoy watching when you were younger, before you ever stepped in the cage?
Chuck Liddell. No, not Chuck Liddell. Sorry. Randy Couture and Matt Hughes are my dudes. Like,
two grapplers.
Yeah. And it's grapplers, but Randy Couture was more of what I loved to smash you against the fence, the dirty boxing, beat you up, take you down, beat you up, tap you out. So I fell in love with just that style. And then when I found myself actually got the chance to go to the Dignans, and then this is before local MMA even blew up. I remember when it blew up, I was like, ooh, I want to do this. And I was in my late 20s. I didn't start. I was pushing 30 when I started. So I've been the old man on the scene since I started. Like I remember when was it the Gladiators was on the live stream, and the guy said it was King of the Cage was on pay-per-view or whatever. I was on there fighting. The guy's like, how is he going to handle Charlie Gather's old man strength? I was like, Jesus Lord. I was like, what the hell? Now I got grandpa strength. If that was 10 years ago, I was like, God.
All right. Next question. Moving on. I remember reffing you a couple times. But you know what? The refereeing was the easy part. I used to, for my entertainment value, I used to love the walkouts. You'd get to see people's personalities. You'd see some dudes ready to throw up. I was one of those. I was up 15 fights. I was always in the back like a little bitch, ready to throw up over a trash can. Some people seem like they handle the nerves better. You can watch any of your fights on YouTube. You have a lot more fights on YouTube than I do. You always seem to be like very locked in and very focused. Was nerves the thing for you in the back? Because if it was, you didn't really show it. But I mean, you always seem so locked in. Like, how did you handle that?
Well, back then, even I'm more so now, a ball of anxiety, no matter what.
You hit it well.
But when I did the puking in the back, I did still now, Joy has to be like, chill the out.
Well, you hide it well, bro. It didn't look like that.
Even with the grappling match, I'm like, but when you walk out that curtain, it's fucking go time. Like, you can't show nerves. You can't show none of that stuff. And it's time to lock in. Like, I love the walkout. If you ain't walking out 100% knowing that you've done everything you can, training wise and all that, that's where that confidence comes from after you walk out. If guys are walking out and they're still a little bit, you can see it on their face, they don't believe in their training. They don't believe how hard they worked. They knew there was days they took off. We didn't take off days. We got our asses kicked in the gym back in the day. And when you walk out of that curtain, Jason Dignan would smack me on the ass and say, let's go. It's go time. And then you just turn into that freak. You know what I mean? It's normal. I call them normals. Normal people don't understand. They don't understand none of that. They want to understand, but they don't have a clue what that feeling's like. About walking down that aisle, ready to get locked in a cage with another man that has trained 4 to 8 weeks to hurt you. You got to be locked in, because if you're not walking out of that cage normal. You're going to be all banged up. So nerves is always an issue. You just got to suck them up.
All right, good shit. Okay, I'm going to just switch gears a little bit here before we switch back to the combat world. Pro wrestling is the first love. Dude, anybody that I talked to from back in the day, we all loved Mike Tyson and we all loved pro wrestling. And, Hulk Hogan and Ric Flair, those were our first loves. For people that don't know, just to expand a little bit about you here, you have a pro wrestling background. I was always interested to ask you about that. This is kind of the first chance I've had the opportunity. Give us a taste of pro wrestling for our people watching. What's that about?
I tell you what, I met a lot of really good guys in this area to do the pro wrestling. It was they changed their name now. I'm not really too sure what the company name, but it was AON Professional Wrestling.
Okay.
And the local guys showed me a lot of love, which really isn't the case in a pro wrestling locker room, because you have to pay a lot of dues in pro wrestling and earn the respect of a lot of people. And I don't know if it's just because I was who I was, coming in from, like, we use my MMA, background and popularity to jump in and do whatever. And I had lots of fun. I tell you what, honest to God truth, the fake stuff, my voice sounds like I smoked 100 packs of cigarettes my whole life right now, because I took a shot in my neck and it ruined my voice. Like, my throat swelled up. I was incapacitated. They wanted to trach me in the whole 9 yards, because there's always safe way to do things. You bounce off the rope. I was taking an elbow. You got to give the guy the space. Well, he missed, and it full speed in my neck.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. So, them guys, you're not jumping up. Maybe you see WWE and that ring might be bouncy, but our local shows, that's plywood and a thin mat. And when you're taking belly bumps and all that stuff, it's a lot hard. You got to give a lot. Those guys don't get enough credit for what they do. Talking on the mic, selling the crowd. There's so many things when you're just like a fighter that's going out there to control what you do. Now you're learning an art to where you have to be safe for everybody, and you have to remember your spots and all this stuff, and it was a great time. I got in it because my kids were this big and loved wrestling. They told me that I couldn't do the wrestling. I'm just a fighter. I couldn't do the pro wrestling because they, power drivers and all that crap, right? They thought it was real. So I was like, I know people. So I called them up. I was like, you got to get me in some shows. Let's do this, and I got in there and did the thing. And we had all the guys messing with my kids. Were always front row. So they'd come out and they were like, you, and scare the boys and stuff. So wrestling is a big check mark for the fun zone when I think back on all the crazy adventures that I put myself in.
That's shit. All right, we'll switch back to the combat world, or the combat sports world. No, that's fun. I grew up on wrestling. That was the first love.
It was very.
I thought I would have been good at it. I tried to spin off into refereeing wrestling because of my MMA thing, and my angle was going to be that referees have taken enough crap over the years, and it's just because they don't know how to fight. You finally got one. No, they didn't want me doing that because I didn't sell the size of the talent. I'm 6 foot, like 250, 260. I guess that's if you ever noticed on some of the WWE stuff, next to Andre the Giant, they find the littlest guy they can find to stand next to him.
Right, because you make someone else look strong. That's because
I would have really liked to. I would have really liked to try it. It looked fun, man. I saw your.
I just got out there and started doing flips off the top. I don't know if you watched any of the matches, but I was doing shooting stars. They're like, how do you do that? I was like, you mean I just jump off and do a backflip and land on this? They're like, yeah. So I tried it and did it. So that was my move. They're like, what the hell?
If I do a backflip off the top ropes, you call for the stretcher immediately. There's no soft landing at 260. It's bad. But. So anyway, okay. So we're going down another avenue of the journey of Charlie Gathers. Street beefs at 46 years old. The very popular internet series Street Beef, for those that don't know that are watching, it goes back to the days of Kimbo Slice and the backyard fighting and stuff. I guess there's a band of guys out in West Virginia, and they do street beefs, and a bunch of people show up. They don't really bother matchmaking too much as they do. They see who actually shows the fuck up. If you drove there and showed up, they figure you want to fight. It's not like some MMA fight where you booked it for 2 months and then the week before the fight, the guy pulls out. And then you got to deal with an opponent change. You get there, they match you. What the hell made you decide to try and do this shit?
All right. I don't want to correct you, but if they're going to.
Okay, good. Yeah, no, correct me.
They're going to listen because I want them to listen because, but they're not, and I'm sure they'd be like, we're not West Virginia, we're Virginia. So that's all I went there. They're down Virginia, but I don't know. A buddy of mine, Dan PA Hitman Pittman. Do you know Dan Pittman?
Yeah. He actually fought my boy, my old teammate Chris Young, and he finished him off pretty quick. And they're safe there. I appreciate they're safe.
Dan is a legit black belt, okay, and he's an old head with many of fights. And I seen him on there, and he's fighting their top guy. Like, there's top guys. It's not just anyone shows up. Everyone does just show up, but they do have top guys, which that's why I want to go down. I want to be. I'm like,
it looks fun. It looks fun.
I want to be pre-match now because I went down there, and the way they match make, you put everybody. You sign all your stuff, and then when they match make, everybody goes in the ring. Boxers over here. Kickboxing right here, MMA guys here, and it's literally how much you weigh? 160. All right, what's your background? I was like, I'm a fighter, ground guy, jiu-jitsu guy, and a purple belt. Nobody wanted that smoke. Nobody wanted. I was lucky that I didn't drive 8 hours for a no fight. I'm lucky that this kid, 20 years old, stepped up and said, I'll fight you. Before that, let me rewind just a little bit. Before that, a guy that I got to talk to, he goes by 717 Static. Now, this kid has fought there almost 17 times, okay, and has only won a couple. It's one of the kids that you could tell just has heart. That goes into, and you've seen street beefs. You don't take a little bit of a licking. If you go in there and lose, you're taking a licking, right? And you would think after so many times of losing, you just not. This kid he was the first one to step up. And he said, I got you, man. I don't want to see you drive the whole way down here. He goes, I'll take that ass whooping. He goes, but can we do Muay Thai or kickboxing? Because there's elbows and all that. He's like, so he can stay away from me. He goes, I'll be honest, I don't want nothing to do with your ground game. He's all grabbing my neck and stuff. He's like, look how big you are and stuff, And so he was the first round. I signed up for 2 fights. I was like, I'll fight twice today. 2 MMA fights. Well, the second round of matchups, when they matched everyone else up, I went back in and dude was like, you don't got to fight? I was like, yeah, I want to do 2. And he was like, all right. I was like, maybe someone else in here will do an actual MMA fight with me. And this young buck stepped up. And I was like, I literally looked at him and said, are you sure, man? I was like, you might be my weight, but are you sure? He's young. Like, when we get to our level, we don't feel anything about a fight that that you can win. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not being a cocky person, but this kid wasn't beating me, And I even told my game plan was I was just leg kick. I said I did 3 leg kicks and muscle memory threw a left hook and knocked him out. And I was like, I was upset. Like I didn't want to do that to you, man. I was like, I was mad that I won that way, So I'm looking for a pre-fight because I want to go back down October, November. But I want a pre-fight with someone good. It's not 30 pounds heavier than me. But I will. If that fight fell through, I was signed up to kickbox a 225-pound man. So I was going down there to fight somebody. My son said, I'll sit in the car if you have to fight him. I told Joy, I was like, we're coming down here, and if all else fails, I'm fighting. I was like, I'm not driving 8 hours. I'll go home beat up and be like, look how big that guy was. And David versus Goliath. I'll fight whoever, but I'm not driving 4 hours not to fight. So, but it was definitely an experience. All those guys, listen, they run. It's not just a free for all down there. Like they run their stuff, and it was pretty impressive. 40 fights they orchestrated that day. 40.
Yeah, I'll tell you what. I'll be honest with you. Fight show. Garrett and myself, we might need to make a trip down there. I'd love to see that in person. I'm not saying I'm going to fight anybody there. But
it was fun. We had a good time. We had a good time watching the fights. I fought close to last because I didn't get a fight till the second matchup. We watched all 40 fights since the minute it started till the very last fight. I got in and someone's getting Shark Tank, so I put on boxing gloves and he let him punch me in the face a couple times. I'm not a boxer at all, but so I went in there and did that. And then after that, we were leaving when they were locking up. So we were there from start to finish, and it was a good time. The dudes that run it, Scarface, I'm bad with names. They're all really legit guys. You know how that started? That they wanted. There's a lot of gang violence down in that area. Their motto, I'm pretty sure, is guns down, hands up. So the way it started back in the day, I believe, is they got everyone that was, put the guns down and come here and duke it out with your fists, and it turned into this thing that I am so interested in. Like, I love it. Now, there's guys down there that aren't skilled, but they still got that balls to get in there. And then there's guys down there that you're like, this is going to be a fun fight. I watched the guy.
You know what? Honestly, hopefully some of these eye-opening experiences for some of the guys that think they can fight and find out, like, fighting's a lot different than I thought when it's like against a trained guy. Hopefully you motivate them to get in the gym and
you really don't know much about you don't know much about yourself till you honestly get punched in the face, and some of these kids go down there and they duke it out, and at least you see that they got heart because they come back the next time and the next time. I really enjoyed going down there, like, a lot, to where I want to make another 4-hour trip to go down there. I'm taking my boy down when he turns 18 because my my oldest son is he won Golden Gloves twice already. Like 11 and 12 and 13-year-old age. Those 2 years he won Golden Gloves. So he's 2-time Golden Glove champ, wrestles. He's going to be fighting soon in the cage of MMA once we get that and all that. And there is no way that he can't go down there and get all those one-on-one person in front of you matchups. It is literally, it is very hard sparring. It is 100% everything like in the rules goes sparring. So these guys come down there and it's like a big smoker and they get going, they get at it. It was fun, dude. You make the trip down there, you ain't going home disappointed. It's fun, like fun.
Hey, I'll tell you what, you let me know when your next one is. I'll make a road trip, man. I'll take a vacation day where we're going out.
Yeah,
right?
That's awesome. It might be October. I want to get a pre-fight though, because I seen how scary it was to have an 8-hour round trip drive and might not fight. I don't want to fight a little kid. I'm not in it for that. I want to get beat on. I want someone that makes me nervous. That I know that you know what I'm saying? I want to feel like shit. I might get beat up. I don't. That's why, if all else fails, I was getting beat up by that 225-pound guy. Even if he wasn't as good as me, he's still a big dude. I'm 160 right now. You know what I'm saying? So that's a lot of weight to be clinching up. I'd be clinching up and my feet would be off the ground. So it's like, I wouldn't know what to do.
All right. Well, I'll tell you what. I'm going to take a second to introduce you to this person in the lower right hand, might be left hand corner in your screen, who is much better looking than I am. This is Sarah Toby. She is she's one of our moderators from Fight Junkies. Hopefully the owner of Fight Junkies. 90,000 plus and growing.
Yeah,
he should be here in a couple minutes.
Fight Junkies for many moons. Yeah.
Yeah. Miss Sarah here is in your bottom right hand corner. I'm going to let her fire away a question at you if you don't mind.
Go ahead.
Oh, I didn't know. I got a question. Oh, I'm so excited. Okay. Okay, let's see here. If you could call any UFC rematch that hasn't happened yet, what would it be?
Oh boy, put me on the spot. Any UFC rematch that hasn't happened yet?
Yes, sir.
Do they have to be active fighters?
You know what? No, they don't.
Who do you want to see run it back?
One fight always bothered me. I mean, and this is off the whim. I'm sure I could think of 1,000 different fights. But if we're not going with active fighters, I would like to see, even though they're both old and crappy, let's rewind to where they were still pretty much in their prime. Mm-hmm. I would like to see, I'm going to mess up names here. I want to see St. Pierre fight Johnny
Hendricks.
Yes, again.
Johnny Hendricks.
Because that fight, GSP lost. And then right after that fight is when UFC went with the big no more TRT and we're testing everybody stuff. And that's when everybody started scattering in the wind and they never came back. So that is my opinion. Maybe it's wrong, maybe it's not, but some people didn't want a tainted image. But I would love to see them go to war again with Johnny at his best. Now, not Johnny when he fought the last couple times and he looked like garbage. I'm talking Johnny at his best when he was. That would be a fun fight to watch. Off the top of my head.
I'll tell you what, Brent Coleflesh, you remember Brent from the judging side of things, just commented. I wasn't going to call him out, but I remember a certain post from a judge in PA on Facebook that literally, and I don't remember anything, Chuck. I've been hitting the head a lot. I don't remember a lot of shit. I remember the post saying, I never want to be involved with Brent. Brent's in the comments. He can... Maybe if he feels like it, he's still with the commission. I'm allowed to say whatever the fuck I want.
For PA,
and be a complete jackass.
For PA,
but, I remember a judge saying, "I will never be a part of anything like that." So he publicly commented on that fight, which we are not supposed to do. The judge shall remain nameless. But I remember him saying, and you know what? I thought Johnny Hendricks won that fight too. Dana White thought Johnny Hendricks won that fight.
Everybody thought Johnny.
He was very upset when George St. Pierre said he was going to retire. I remember that. So
you said that, guys.
I'm just going to dime in for Sarah here. I think if Sean Strickland would fight Alex Pereira very differently.
Oh yeah, that's a good one too. See, I didn't have time to really think, but
yeah, I don't know why Sean Strickland decided to try and stand with Alex Pereira. I mean, hindsight's 20/20, but I think Sean could have had a much better chance of winning that fight if he had fought it with less ego, if that makes sense. Mm-hmm. So, okay, Charlie, like I said,
should I just leave? You want me to fucking go back out till you're done? Do I get one? I mean, I'm over here.
Go ahead, Garrett. Dude, Charlie, Garrett is the brains behind the operation. Without him, none of this would happen.
I'm fucking taking my ball and going to fuck home. Fuck that now. I want to see the last 4 minutes of Rory McDonald, Robbie Lawler.
Oh yeah, see, there's so many good ones. But hey, I think that whole fight was boring though until the end. Like that whole fight wasn't a barn burner. Like
it was. It doesn't. Yeah. Every Max Holloway, Justin Gaethje in the last 10 seconds of UFC 300 is not. It doesn't have to be that to be a good fight. Like technical striking. I was the biggest fan of Rory's striking, man. Like I just like watching him work.
Right.
As a fan to sit back. But that's one right. I just like to maybe not a rematch. I would just would have liked to see the last 4 minutes of that fight.
Over and over again with lips hanging off over here.
I mean, who's to say I mean at the end of the day, Rory didn't quit that fight. His nose gave out. That's really
I mean his body shut down. His brain probably was like, no, don't do this. And his body's like, man, I'm just gonna sit here.
that was one of the,
I don't want no more.
That was one of the most wild fights I've ever seen.
Yeah. Our buddy Pat has a question. You guys both know Pat. One quick thing. I heard you mention Jason Dignan. I know that name's been around that area for a while. Fun fact, Bill, Jason Dignan's family has a coffee company. Did you know that?
Yes, I did.
Also,
right up the road.
I was telling Bill about that. Anyways, what was your toughest camp? Pat wants to know.
Pat, my toughest camp for. Oh man, there wasn't really any camps, it was, we all got ready for fights. Like if there were shows, we were all fighting. So we trained to fight pretty much that's back in the day where they're like, all right, get in the cage. It's sparring day. And you guys may as well not even wear gloves because you're just going to kick the shit out of each other. You know what I'm saying? That's like back in those days. So not one camp comes to mind that it was tough. Now, the toughest I've pushed myself through in a camp where I would show up early and get a workout in before we even got our asses beat was my Greg Jones fight. That was pretty much what. After that was a fight. I was on the news. The local news was there. It was one of the big shows. It was Greg was undefeated and whooping everyone's butt. I had one loss. I took a fight in Ohio where I totally wasn't ready and got stuck in a triangle or something. But after that, I racked off 7. So it was our title fight, and he was the first one that I felt I had to push myself harder for because he was big, he was ripped, he was undefeated. So I think that's would be my toughest camp that I put myself through. Other than that, the Dignans, Pat Johnson, he's in the PA commission now, used to be one of my main people that would kick the dog shit out of me. He's a big dude.
That's probably why he asked that question.
I was at Pat Johnson.
Yeah, that's that Pat.
All right, Pat. All right, I see you. I got much love for Pat. But he knows that I don't think that there wasn't one toughest just a fight camp. It was all tough. Like when I look back now and then I go to gyms and see how people train now to get ready for fights, these guys weren't like old school. Like Pat used to hold me down and beat me up. Like they used to make jokes that would say the things that they did to me back then, get ready for fight, they'd probably get arrested for nowadays. So like I have much love for Pat and all the Dignan family. Like if it wasn't for them, I've said many a times on social media and stuff that if it wasn't for the Dignan family, Pat Johnson included, I would be MMA and jiu-jitsu saved my life. Maybe not death-wise, dying, but it got me to a better place in life and made me a better man. You know, I still look up to Jason. I talk about him constantly. He's a fucking legend in this whole area. Jason Dignan and the Dignan family. I have much love for them. I'm glad Pat chimed in. You said Pat, and I was hoping, I was thinking in my head, is that Johnson on the other end of there? So,
well, look, these PA commission guys, if they speak out of turn anywhere, Greg Serb comes down from the heavens and strikes them down.
I know,
with
man.
all 2'4" of his fury.
I wish they didn't make it so hard for me to get my PA license, man. It's so tough in PA that I would love to fight around home again, but it's the way it goes. You know, you can't blame the guys.
The new regime. Even with the new regime, you're still having issues with the new regime up here.
I don't want to call it issues.
Issues doesn't mean that there's things.
It's just the rules.
There's things.
Their plus 40 rules are a little bit more strict than other states. So I'll go get my rocks off in a different state and someone else. You know,
what's the motto? Virginia's for lovers. Virginia's for older fighters too. So,
right. So
I'll tell you what, Charlie. I'm also tuning in here. Look to the right or look to the left of your screen is the sweetest mustache and hair in the game, and I know you know something about a sweet haircut and sweet facial hair. Our boy Tanner Canada is to the right there. He owns Fight Junkies. He is the owner, the founder. 80,000 plus and growing every fucking week.
I'm a follower. I love the Junkies. I love that stuff.
Oh, nice.
Tanner, Charlie Gathers, Tanner.
Nice
Tanner,
to meet you.
question, man? Fire off.
So, just gonna go ahead with the rapid fire questions. Is that what we're doing now?
Yeah, if you just want. Tanner does rapid fire questions. I'm trying to find the right.
I'm bouncing all over the screen, Bill. You're making me dizzy over here.
I'm trying to find the right place.
I'm not
here
in control of that.
Still working on the controls here, so we might just go back to the big screen and just let it go that way.
Yeah, we're good.
All right, Tanner, hit him with the rapid fire questions.
All right, I just hit some questions. First thing off the top of your head, just try to bounce them off one after the other. So start off, I'm going to ask you, who's your favorite overall combat athlete?
Jones.
John Jones. Who's
your
favorite non-combat sports athlete?
My favorite non-combat sports athlete. I honestly don't think I have one.
First time
Two
we've
in a
heard
row.
that answer.
Yeah, I know.
Iced coffee or hot coffee?
Iced coffee. Nope, I lied.
Yeah.
It's hot coffee because I drink it every morning, but I do enjoy myself a nice iced coffee as well.
Yes.
Nice. And what's your favorite TV show?
Favorite TV show? There's so many. What are we watching now? You know, we go through House of the Dragons right now is what we're big into. That we've waited a long time for the episodes to come back. So we're going
Same.
with that. We're going with that. I love House of the Dragons. Me and Joy, we sit there, we watch it every Sunday until it runs out, and then we're pissed.
Nice. Who's your MMA GOAT?
It's Jones. You know, I love everything about the way he fights. Anyway, and all the issues, everything rolled up in one. It's Jones 100%.
Kind of figured after the first answer, but what talk or text?
Text.
Right. What's your favorite cheat meal?
Cheat meal. Oh boy. Probably something to do with pasta.
Pasta. What's your favorite after fight meal? What's your first thing you're grabbing to eat after you're done fighing?
What'd you say?
After
Beer.
fight.
She said, not you. She's in the back of beer. Yeah, it's pretty much beer now.
Who's your favorite actor?
Oh, favorite actor. I don't know. I don't have one. I'm not really into the favorite actors, or I'm not good with names. I don't remember nobody. I just like watching shit. No, it's not Zac Efron.
What's your favorite sport to watch outside of MMA?
Does wrestling count?
Yeah.
Grappling.
Not
So,
MMA. Okay, you're a grappler. I dig that. And I guess that's really all I got for you.
I mean, football's up there, but we don't sit and watch football like we used to anymore, you know. So I kind of faded out. Just combat sports is pretty much what's always on our TV if it isn't the series we're watching, you know. So we got a whole fight family from mom to dad to all of our boys. We're all grapplers. My kids are coming up soon. My oldest will be hitting the local fight scenes in the cage and stuff. So it's fight family here, you know. It's what we do for fun. So
no, I get it.
All right, I got one rapid fire, and it's only people in Pennsylvania are going to get this. You say yins or y'all?
I say yins.
You're one of those yins. I had to check.
Yinzers.
I know the line drifts right up there where you're at, where you're a yinzer, you're not a yinzer. I wasn't sure.
I'm not much of a y'all. I feel like that's down south more.
Well,
I was down south of Mason-Dixie, so it's y'all.
Yeah,
he's from Arkansas. We're so close to Maryland. She's in Kentucky. It's y'all. I never heard so many yins till I went out there, and I was like, "What the
yinzers?"
Yinzers. Is that everybody got anything else for Charlie before we cut him loose? Or
I got two quick ones. Charlie, before we let you go here, man, is there any advice to any young kid, 18, 17, 16, 24, whoever, young person just getting out, started out in the sport? What's your advice? What would you give them? If you had 1 minute to give them advice, what would it be?
My main advice would be to take it serious. Like, and that comes with a whole array of things when you're taking something serious. You know, you got to be consistent, you know, with dieting. It's MMA and competing. I mean, in any sport, but more so MMA, grappling, combat sports, period. Consistency wins the battle. It's a lifestyle. It isn't something you do on the weekends. You don't buy fancy fucking shorts and think that you're going to be an MMA fighter. You know, you got to pay your dues and you got to eat right. You know, making weight. There we go. It's a whole different ass subject. Making weight is the most important thing to me in fighting. That is the hardest battle. Too many people go out and they miss weight like it's nothing. You know what I mean? And there's always a reason why. And then there's always the real reason why, you know? So be serious, make weight, and treat it as it's your life. If it's not your life, then fighting's not for you, because some of us do it because we have to. We don't do it because we want to, or it's cool, or you want to get girls, or like that's not fighting. A lot of us fight because we have to fight, because we grew up fighting. So my main advice is take it serious, because when that cage door locks, if you didn't take it serious enough, then you're going to find out that fighting, we ain't baking cookies, is something that I've said. I've said that for many years. We ain't baking cookies in this sport. Like, you separate the men from the boys in this sport. So take it serious or you're going to get hurt.
All right,
That
and
was
then
the
finally,
best soundbite
last,
we've ever gotten on this show. That was the best MMA across the board, best soundbite I think we've ever had on this show. Tanner, if you don't clip
That's
that,
a
I will be
clip,
severely,
yeah.
I will be severely fucking disappointed. That's the hardest fucking minute.
It just got to be in you, you know what I mean? Like, I'm serious about, like I said, I'm not undefeated. I took a lot of hard fights. I took fights a week after I crawled out of the cage and had to cut 10 more pounds after cutting 25. I walked around at 60, 65, fought 35, 40, 45. I fought at 55 once. I weighed in that day with water bottle and quarters in my pocket to make that weight so I could fight somebody, you know? So I take it really serious, because it's really, some of us, it's in us. So we need it. We need to compete to survive. And I've said that for so long that it's part of me. You know what I mean? And without fighting or combat sports, how I'm still competing at the highest level I can, and I only have one arm. This arm's blown. It's hardly it's useless half the time, you know? So it's like, I got to do this. So when you run into a guy like me and you're not serious, you're going to find out real quick that this game
I'll tell you
The
what.
cage
I'll
is
tell
the
you.
truth.
it is the
No,
truth.
I'll tell you what, Chuck. I can.
Find out.
No, I can definitely vibe with you. I'm another one of those people. You need the next thing. I don't want to just clock in and clock out every day and just wait till the end. Like, I need the next thing. Otherwise, I go crazy and start
Right.
doing dumb shit.
Like I said earlier, before Joy got me off the couch, I didn't have anything. I didn't know where I was. MMA lit this. I was like Rocky Balboa when Creed was coming up and trying to talk to him. He's like, I want nothing to do with boxing. Leave me alone. You know what I'm saying? People, I want you to train me, and I want nothing to do with it, because I had to get the old man test after my last fight when Mitchell knocked me out. That was my worst loss ever. And it was like, oh, get your own. That shit, I didn't have insurance. That was like $2,500, $3,000 to get all the tests. I'm like, so I have to retire now? I'm not done retired. So I kind of had a bad taste in my mouth. And I was honestly, when I look it back, I was lost. You know what I mean? And she got me back on the mats because she wanted to learn. So we taught her. She never even stepped foot on mats. And we had her eating at Naga in like a month. I said, best way to learn is you go out there and you do it live. And she got, I think, was it your first one was a silver or gold? That first, yeah, her first time ever stepping on a mat to compete with someone live was a gold medal.
Oh shit!
Yeah, so you know, and then she continued to go on, and it's like, if it wasn't for her, I don't know, you know what I'm saying? I didn't know where I was at, and then I discovered this fire I just need it. I need it now. It's like a born again type shit. So,
She picked you back up, man.
Yeah.
She picked you back up.
absolutely.
All right,
He's been talking about it. He's been
Oh,
talking
good,
about
yeah.
it for an hour. I feel like he's going to get off here, go for a run, and hit the bag. For
I feel like I
45 minutes.
should. You know what I'm saying?
Ready to go.
I'm pumped up right now. I feel like I should go to a practice or something. It's goddamn 8:00.
Let us know when your next fight is. We'll jump on an interview with you real quick right
Yeah,
before.
yeah, absolutely.
We'll pump you up.
Get you fired.
I'll tell you what. My final thing for
It
Chuck
doesn't take
before we
much
let
to
you
get
get
me
out of
fired
here.
up, though.
Charlie, before you get out of here, just tell how can people support you, man? Where do they go? What's your socials?
I mean,
Like, put it out there.
Yeah, just I mean, Facebook pretty much. I don't have special pages or any of that. You know what I mean? I just get on and do a lot of fight stuff with all the family and put the boys on there, and do some dumb stuff. But if you want to ever, see anything that's going on, my Facebook, Charlie Gathers. That's about it. The important thing is like that all kind of like died down. You know what I mean? I don't bother. I don't know what to say. I still feel humbled. Like I was telling Joy before I came on, I was like, I'm still feeling humbled about doing this stuff with you guys now. You know what I mean? I've been active, but I haven't been an active fighter. Like this ain't like back when I was taking 4 fights in 1 month and winning all these things and doing all the stuff. You know what I mean? So that was humbling then, and it's still humbling now that I actually have I still have the opportunity to come on and talk with you guys, the MMA junkie guys and stuff. I'm like, what the hell am I doing right now? You know what I'm saying? So I definitely feel humbled with all this stuff. It's like it's always appreciated because I've always feeling like I'm lower, like you said, it's the next thing because I'm always trying to strive to be up here and I'm always putting myself on the bottom of the barrel. So I'm always have this drive to be better, do better, be better. You know what I'm saying? And fighting is that for me to prove that's the only place I feel normal is on a mat or in a cage. That's the only place I feel like I belong, So it's, support is just getting on and saying, hey, you know what I'm saying? Follow me on Facebook, I guess. I don't know.
we got to get you a Twitter and an Instagram. These 3 people, not me. These 3 people you see besides me, they're really good at this shit.
Yeah.
Like I'm not good at this shit at all.
I don't know nothing about Twitter or X or whatever it's called now. But how do you work this shit? I can't even.
I'll tell you what. There's a lot of hot chicks on there. That's all I know that's going on. I don't know much else about it.
I got my own hot chick at home, so I don't need.
There you go. Good man. Good man, Charlie. All right. Anybody got anything else for Charlie?
No.
Good.
Just on your next one.
We got one more comment. You got a new follower, Charlie. She said, "Thank you for representing Pennsylvania. You are so humble. I'll definitely follow you on Facebook." So you got a new fan today, Charlie Gathers. Good to be accomplished.
Hey, I appreciate you guys more than you appreciate me. Believe that.
Well, then don't be a stranger, man. You let us know when you want to pop back in. You got an open invite. Charlie Gathers is welcome here whenever he wants to pop back in and talk shit. We'll have cards and talk about the cards and whatever.
Shows
yes, sir. Yeah, I'll do that. I'll do that a lot. I love talking MMA all day.
If you want to stay up late next post show, you got an invite. Charlie Gathers, come talk shit about UFC.
I'll talk to you later, bro. Thank you, guys. I appreciate you. Thank you.
No worries, bro. Charlie fucking Gathers.
Nice.
The madman, Charlie Gathers.
Yeah, bro. That guy was.
He was a good dude. I was in the cage with him, reffing him at least 2 or 3 times, maybe more. I don't fucking know. But no, Charlie was always a good dude, man. Always stand-up guy. Always showed up when he said he was going to show up. Never backed out of a fight. Like for real, never backed out of a fight. If I saw his name on the card, he showed up.
Apparently, the homie Pat Johnston's a bully. I didn't know this. We kind of found this out today. You should just beat up on poor Charlie.
Yeah, Pat, what the fuck, man? You're part of the heavyweight club. You're beating up on the 160-pounders. What the hell are you doing? I'm fucking with you, Pat. You know I love you.
We love that. Can I also point out that we have a new little feature here where, like, my socials down here. If you look down at the bottom, it tells you that Tanner founded Fight Junkies. Bill's was Big Dick Bookwalter for a while, and then he got off and came back on. I just want to point that out that it's not there anymore.
I was hoping nobody caught that.
No, I caught it. I caught it, and I didn't get a chance to screenshot it.
I just wanted to see what it looked like.
Yeah, the Mannheim Strangler is popular with the ladies, and it's not because he weighs 250 pounds,
No, it's because he's a fucking creeper. It pops out when you come in from doing your laundry.
Dude, I get to do whatever I want. Like I'm Bill Bookwalter. I get to do whatever I want all the time.
If the world only knew the stuff that's going on in our chat before, just within the last week. We can't disclose.
No.
But if I did it, it's because in the moment I wanted to.
That shit will get deleted quicker than a fucking alleged rapist post. Amen. If you were in my gym, it was fair game, Pat said.
Oh, dude, that would be the best clip is Pat Johnston and I sparring for 5 minutes. Oh, my God.
The new T-shirt idea. Next time we do a T-shirt drop, the T-shirt's just going to say Pat Johnston, heel hooks, white belts. That's it. That's all we're going to say.
What a
dick.
Face
on the back of it. Just his face on the back of it.
What a dick. And we're not talking Big Dick Bookwalter. We're talking Pat Johnston.
Brent Coldflesh says, Professor Bill is on the way after another beer. He's got the Al
Yeah,
Bundy.
I'll tell you what. Today's show might as well. No, I won't even go there. Never mind.
Bill tries to
I got quite a few empties sitting here.
Oh, goodness.
All right, what else we got? We previewing this next week's card.
We got next week's card. We got Contender Series coming up.
Bill's
We got,
drunk.
Let me
Bill-
throw this out
Bill's
there.
fucked
I
up.
am very likely going to be in the promo for the Sergey Spivak Marcin Tybura fight because I ref the first one, so I'm likely going to be in the promo. I would think so.
let's go.
I know, right?
That'd be like
You could be
two.
like, I know that guy.
That'd be like two within the last year that I know. You were in. Literally, if you look for it and you know where to look for it out there, if you guys are bored and have nothing to do, go back. And I guess guys like Pat Johnson and Brett who work for the commission, it's probably not exciting. But the layman, the regular blue-collar working man that has nothing to do with the athletic commission, if you go back and you watch the promo video with Hailstorm playing in the background for DDP Strickland, you see Bill for about 3 seconds of the UFC promo. I think you see him twice.
Seconds? 3 whole seconds.
Well,
That's
whatever the Strickland fight you refed, he KO'd somebody, didn't he?
Yeah, Alex Garcia. Yeah.
Yeah, that's okay. It was when Strickland fought Garcia, and they see you for like 3 seconds while you jump in there and save Garcia from mauling Sean Strickland. I believe is the correct fight.
I drove hundreds of hours and spent thousands of hours of my life so I could be featured on not even featured, a 3-second clip on a promo.
Access TV, which is even it's LFA. LFA just did the Sean Spath Ahmet Karetli clip the other day that you talked about in the show where the
I fucked that up.
The axe they just did the clip the other day. And I'm scrolling, and there's you in the middle of my fucking screen. It was the LFA fight.
Can the internet please forget about that fight because I fucked it up bad, and I apologize to Sean Spath. I fucked it up. My bad. The right thing got done. I begged the Virginia Department of Recreation. I'm like, please do the right thing. I fucked up. I'm human. I'm like, please make the right change, and they did. And I apologize to Sean Spath. We made it right. It's not as bad as the Sharif versus Travis Creamer stoppage, but
is that the one
it was
where you
bad,
tore your
but
bicep?
we made that one right.
Is that the one where you tore your bicep?
No. That's a completely different one. You're messing up all my. You're screwing up all my mess ups.
You said ES. Sorry, they're all in public. I mean, who else can say that? If Sarah takes a shitty OnlyFans picture, she just deletes it. Nobody gets to see it. So
it just disappeared.
I've seen Sarah's socials. She does not take terrible pictures. She puts the right ones up on social media.
I know what
anybody who doesn't know, go follow Sarah. Shout out Sarah.
I guess
that,
are we gonna
though. I don't know.
Tanner,
I wasn't really too excited about this one this weekend, but
no, I'm pulling it up now, so I have a guide for us to.
Oh Jesus! Yeah, let's cap this quick. This is not a gambling show, but I'll throw my advice out there, as I'm wrong sometimes.
We got reconstruction coming for the Apex. I heard they were getting out of it, but now I've seen that Dana is going to be renovating.
They just got to let more people in.
That's interesting.
No, they just got to let more people in.
Because that's
what they're doing. Is they're renovating it to allow more people. But I mean, I think there's use for the Apex, but I just think that more people, definitely should be allowed to go.
I think if you have the Apex, you should probably, I'd say, expand Contender Series. But if you think about it, Contender Series as a season is 40. What is it? How many? 5 contracts a show? 10 contracts a show? No,
it's 4 to 5. 4 to 5 contracts a show.
Yeah. 4 to 5 contracts a show. So you're getting ready to get 40 new fighters. And you wonder why guys like Makayev and there's 6 other people that just got cut. You're getting ready to get 40 new faces. That at least a handful of them are going to have a KO, like a highlight reel KO or submission or something.
Hey, I'll tell you what they Can we all agree that the Apex is just kind of the Contender Series on steroids? Is that the Apex is a bunch of people that you probably haven't not heard a lot about of, but they are, to get there, they've done the work. I mean, they're guys that it's not your everyday, like, it's not like a 1-on-1 pro. You know, it's guys that they really have their eye on. So I mean, like
it's
Tanner
filler,
said,
honestly. Like, I mean, like, you have so many guys on the roster, you got to get them a fight. And I mean, if nobody really knows them, they're not drawing a big fan base, you're not going to stick them on a Nashville card or a Denver card or one of these cities. So yeah, I mean, you definitely got to put them in the Apex, try to get them a name, let them get a highlight reel. Some people say they fight better in the Apex too, and some people say they like the crowds more. So I guess it depends on the fighter. One thing I love and will always miss is the sound of the gloves hitting. And if you want to get a key moment of that, go watch Dustin Poirier and Dan Hooker fight at the Apex, because that was
beautiful.
Crazy to think they fought at the Apex. They're two of the biggest stars. You know, they're bigger. They're on the top 100 stars of the UFC list.
That was COVID though, and I was thinking, like, you know, it did serve its purpose. Like, we had fights every Saturday during the pandemic when everything was shut down. So
two strikers in a small cage too. That's another thing they can do with renovation.
I forgot it was smaller.
It's smaller, and that makes a difference. That makes a real difference. I like a huge difference just to stand inside of it. We had a 26-foot cage or 24-foot cage, and we had an issue with our cage, and we were able to get the backup cage, the backup 30-footer for the UFC. Holy shit! It's like it never ends, bro. It's a world of difference from like being inside a 24-foot cage and then going to a 30. Massive difference.
Dude, I used to referee in that 24 or it might even been 22-foot King of the Cage. That shit, where Tony Lopez and them used to fight. My God, that shit is small. They're on top of you in like 2 steps. They're like, I'm constantly like walking towards the cage, feeling the cage to know where I'm at, so I can get the fuck out of the way. If the action change directions, there's like no room. Yeah, the difference between the UFC cage and the local small cage is a huge difference. So
that's why I said with those two guys in that smaller cage, 2 strikers in that smaller cage, and you still have that really good fight. You know what I'm saying? Like that one is one to be remembered, I think, partially for that reason. But yeah, the Apex has its place.
I like it. I dig it. We got a lot of MMA coming up. I like it.
People are also greedy and selfish, and they see a card and they see 4 names they recognize, and they see 6 they don't, and they want to start. I'm like, watch those 6 guys that you don't recognize, so you get familiar with them. Like,
some of those are sleepers. Some of those cards.
Go ahead, Tanner. Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say some of those cards are bangers. Like, you don't know anybody on there, and then all of a sudden it's 8 for 8 or 10 for 12 on finishes. Like, you never know, and that's why you got to watch every Saturday.
That's what I'm saying. I don't care who's fighting. I'm going to watch. Period. I don't care if I don't know a damn name on there. I'm gonna be watching.
The only difference, honestly, is the hype before and the ability to be like, okay, I gotta get up, go take a piss. I'm not timing my piss breaks for the 1 minute in between rounds, 3 fights out from the, you know what I'm saying? I'm just gonna be like, I'm just gonna go to the bathroom. And very rarely do you, when you choose those moments, do you come back 3 minutes later or 2 minutes later or whatever, and it's just still kind of in the same place it was before. So it is what it is. But you still get familiar with the guys.
Yeah, I'm always gonna watch every Saturday either way. I mean, like, that's the thing.
Yeah, and that's where it's at. It's just how long are you? There's days where you're like, fuck, I'm gonna sit here for 7 hours. And then your days are like, and you're on social and you're not really there. You're
cooking
doing this.
supper and
hey, I'm gonna put this out there. The UFC is worth damn near 12 billion these days, 10 billion, for a reason. It's because we're gonna watch them. Almost, they got to throw us some good shit once in a while, but we're gonna watch Dana White Contender Series, the Apex, a UFC Fight Night from Denver, Colorado. We're gonna watch, and Dana White knows it. So,
I
think, well, we did the figure. What was it? 40. What is 48 out of 53 or something like that, or 46, or it was in the 40s. I remember we had 40 something weeks last year out of 52 weeks out of the year.
Not enough.
That we had
not
MMA.
enough. Not enough.
I think for this year, when we ran the midpoint a couple episodes back, we ran the midpoint. We were like 21 out of like 26 or 24. Now we've had these gaps here, so we're definitely going to be missing out. But
Garrett, you know what? I'm going to be honest with you here. I need more cowbell. When you say we had MMA 42 out of 53 weeks, all I hear you say is there's 11 weeks they let me sit at home alone, Not alone, but they let me sit at home with this dumb shit to watch. Like there needs to be MMA like 58 weeks out of the year, minimum.
I don't watch TV unless it's MMA. Like, period. I don't. I don't even have a TV in my living room. I do not watch TV unless it's MMA. Period.
No,
Well,
dude, we are true fight junkies.
That's
We
all
are
the time
fight
I got,
junkies.
guys.
See you,
Get back in here. Catch y'all later.
Mr. Beautiful Face.
I try my best.
Well, now you're just being cocky, piece of shit.
Catch
See
y'all
you,
later.
bro.
See you, dude. Tanner Canada.
Tanner fucking Canada.
I was cool with it till he flicked the hair. Now he's just being a dick.
No, it was the blown kiss for me. That hit the top. That was over the top.
He knows what he has. He knows what he knows what he's got. As much as he doesn't want to admit it, he knows what he's got. I would just wish I had it.
Other than that, I mean, we're at about an hour 5. Do you guys want to wrap it up and let Bill get carried on with the drinking before he's live on the internet and he has consumed too many alcoholic beverages?
That was a fun show, man. That was good. I had a good ass time.
I think we kind of wore our welcome. I got all these graphics down here for all these segments with all these sponsors we didn't talk about.
Hey, we got some cool sound bites for next week. We got some exciting news to announce next week. I got an interview that I want to do with Sarah next week. Looking forward to that shit. So, this was a fun show, man. This was a good one.
Yeah,
Energy was good. Charlie's a good interview, bro.
Yeah, we had a good one.
Charlie's a fun guy.
Yeah, hell yeah. That was fantastic.
Oh, by the way, I got a message before we get off the air. I got a message that Charlie just got an email. His next fight is October 5th. If you guys can make it, please do. I'm going. You know, I got a case of Labatt's Blue. I'm fucking heading up to Virginia.
It's what's down.
Let's go.
Down to Virginia. Up would be New York.
Whatever. Who cares? Potato, tomato. It's all the same shit.
I wish I could, but I have a wedding to plan in October.
Well, if you're you know what? For what it's worth, Sarah, if it's 4 hours away from us in Virginia, it might not be. It might not be much further for you to get. I'm just saying. Anyways,
that is true. I'm like Western Kentucky, like way on over.
Hey, we could do Fight Show hits the road. We'll figure it out.
In any case, if you're at the next Street Beef show in October and you happen to see this guy walking around in a Fight Show hoodie, piss face drunk, stop and take a picture.
I'm not going sober.
Tag us in your socials. Chkm8 MMA. Thank you. Appreciate it. Fight Show merch, MMATco.com/collection/Fight Show. Clips available on at Chkm8 MMA. At Chkm8 MMA across all socials. For Tanner Canada, Bill Bookwalter, Sarah Toby, and myself, we will see you guys next week. Big one coming up, Bubba. Dricus Duplessis, Israel Adesanya after this.
Woo! In South Africa, Perth. Is it Perth?
No, it's in Perth. That's in Australia, Bill.
Yep.
It's the battle. It's the battle for Africa, live from Australia.
That's fine. It's a bunch of people who really give a fuck. There's a lot of people who this is gonna like fuck with their week, depending on who wins.
Yeah. Yep. And if this is a betting show, but it's not, because Bill says that before every statement where he talks about betting money.
I have no idea who's going to win that fight, dude. Adesanya's looking big as fuck. Duplessis is good.
He wins though.
I don't know, man. We'll see. Like the title of the Pride of Africa. Fuck the UFC title. The Pride of Africa is on the line. You know what I mean?
Even though Izzy lives in New Zealand?
Come on. We know what's going on. He just moved. We know where he's from. We know where his family's from. We know where he claims. This is a good fight. This is fun from an entertainment standpoint.
Are you saying just because someone's a certain color, you can ascertain what region of the world they're from? Did you just say that?
Listen, 0.02% of me is from Nigeria. I just live in Lancaster. I mean, that's legitimately what's going on. You know, check my backstory and my ancestry.com results. I'm 0.02% black.
All right.
I just live in Lancaster, Pennsylvania. So where you move is not indicative.
Do you want to put your social street address and your phone out on the internet too while we're at it, Bill?
I do not.
Okay, we're still.
I do.
There's a fuck ton of people still hanging on, so we're kind of just still Labatt's blue. Still is. If Bill can figure out how to go live on Facebook by himself from the Chkm8 page, you might fuck around and get a Bill monologue one night, real late, 15 beers in, shirtless, lights are off,
Jesus.
you can barely see him.
Why don't you just ask me to like go to the moon? Like I don't know how to do that shit. I don't know how to do the Facebook.
Bullshit is just broken down too.
Or the TikTok or the Instagram. I don't know anything about what you young kids are doing.
It's like I barely know how to use the Google.
Yeah. You young kids and your Def Leppard, who put on an amazing concert, by the way. Oh my God!
I should have just done this from the start.
Dude, ref rant. Jesus Christ, we had a good show. You just put me on the spot.
No, it's just fucking with you. I wanted to see you scramble. All right, we're getting the fuck off here. We've been rambling for like 7 minutes. No MMA related at all.
You enjoy that a lot, Garrett. You like watching people fumble.
I mean,
like
wait, hold on, real quick. 500level.com. You wanted to do ref again, Garrett? Thank you, football, for coming back. It was really, really lame with just baseball for the last few months.
The graphic, if you're gonna.
Oh my God! This week's ref rant is directed at the NFL. The whole like off-season stuff where you're not here and I have to like bet on baseball. Stop that. Just have football every week, like MMA. Let's just have football and MMA 52 weeks a year. Forget baseball, basketball, soccer. I don't need any of that shit. MMA and football, like, stop going away. There should be no 2 or 3 week breaks. There should be 2 or 3 month breaks. Stop leaving me hanging. So, I don't know. That's this week's ref rant. Jesus, gosh, I got put on the spot. But I am pissed about something. Football.
I'm pretty sure after that one, we should have that thing across the bottom that says, if you have a sports gambling problem, call 1-800 whatever state you're in. I feel like we should have done one of them fucking just. They might make us do it.
I'm up $1,000 in the last 6 weeks. There is no gambling problem.
But this isn't a gambling show.
It's not a gambling show. It's never been a gambling show.
This isn't a gambling show. It's a get drunk outside the casino singing Jelly Roll songs because you want the parlay to hit.
Please, people, whoever's out there, do not bet anything ever. Just stop. Don't do it. It's not a win. It's entertainment. You're going to lose. But anyway, I will shut up now. You got anything else for this week? Nothing. I'm going to keep this party going. Chrissy's getting home soon. We're going to go out to eat, get some beer and water. It's going to be good.
Uncle Bill might not tell you what you want to hear, but he's going to tell you what you need to hear.
This was a rough week.
A rough week?
I'm feeling good now. So.
Those 1-800 gamblers. Brett, there's still apparently people here. We've just been incoherently rambling.
We're just hanging out at this point.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just message me for deals and chat.
That's funny. Brett, you keep your mouth shut. You keep your fingers off the keyboard. I regret what I said immediately.
All right, hey, look, this is our warning. Christy's on her way. We got to go. Mom's coming home.
Oh no.
On the update us on the Chkm8. What the hell's that?
He corrected it. Hold on.
Chkm8. Oh, Jesus. Yeah, no, I have an $18,000 plumbing bill coming up. I don't even want to talk about it. Thanks, Brent. Yeah, my God, that guy really knows how to kill a buzz. Jesus.
Sarah, I'm going to need you. Look, Fight Show family's tight. We got a lot of shit going on. I'm going to need you to start a GoFundMe. Take a picture of you with your tits. Make up some sad story about my wife's car accident and Bill's $18,000 thing. And start a GoFundMe, please. And just me and Bill split it 50-50.
Wait, Sarah has boobs. I thought we were talking about her yellow dress. Wait, Sarah has boobs?
What?
I don't even know how we've managed to get this far down the rabbit hole. I'm over here off screen just to,
Yeah.
Can you fucking
Oh my God,
behave?
there's her face. I didn't even know what she looked like. Oh my God, she has glasses. When did she start wearing those? I'm
Sarah, when
fucking
did you
around,
gauge your
man.
ears that big? I don't remember seeing them.
Yeah, oh my God. She has gauges in her ears. Did you know that?
What is that? What is this? There's this?
She is
Hi,
up there, sir.
Yeah, hi, I'm Bill. It's nice to meet you.
My
Get the
face
fuck out of here,
doesn't
man. I gotta go eat some
push me,
food.
you.
You think I just propped up a pair of tits in the bottom of the screen? I'm good, but I ain't that fucking good. She moves and everything. She talks, she speaks words.
Oh my
AI,
God, she has
Bill.
hands. She has
Sarah's
hands.
real. She's not AI.
Two of them.
Yeah, she has hands too. She has two hands. Garrett, get us the hell out of here, man.
Bill doesn't know how to leave the stream until I end it, so he's just been ranting this entire
You're the
time.
guy. You're the host, man. You end it.
He can't even leave the stream.